Y'all, good morning. First of all, don't come on here looking at me and judging me, judging how I look. Don't come on here judging me, okay? It is Sunday morning and I took off. Voice barely there. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, I miss y'all and I love y'all. We family, right? So, C Breeze, aka Corey, aka my man, his birthday is Wednesday. It's always either on Thanksgiving or before. It's the 26th. And so I put together a surprise birthday dinner for him yesterday. Y'all, it came together so nice. He was truly surprised. And I wanted to make it all about him because if it was like my birthday, like I talk to everybody, you know what I mean? I have a good time. I'm cool. Like I connect to a lot of people. But you know how Corey connects to people too, but his people, I wanted his people to be here. So I had his good friends and family that he's really close with from Jersey, and then our people up here from Maryland, and we got to intertwine our two worlds so they could all meet each other, and it was such an amazing time. I don't think people officially left till like almost 11 o'clock, and people started coming at 5 something, and I kept the surprise from him, y'all. It really like I wanted him to be happy and him to feel loved, and feel appreciated because he does so much for, our family, his family that he takes care of, me, the kids, and he's so supportive. And I wanted him to feel that, and he did, and it was so good. Y'all, I am not a party planner. I don't do that. I don't know. Is it an Aries thing? Is it a sign thing? I, I, the next one is on somebody else. I said, I can't, like, I'll pay because the detailing and stuff of it all is like so much. You got to coordinate this, you got to coordinate that. But he really had a good time. So there's that. Also, I told y'all that I had an episode coming out on Friday. It's done. Um, it just hadn't got posted. It'll be posted today because I did have an interview Thursday. And speaking of that, this video that I'm about to do with y'all, I started doing it on Thursday, right? And I was almost done and then realized my interview time. So I had to stop it, didn't record it. So I'm doing it over. So some of the news that I want to gossip with y'all about is old. Yes, it is okay. But what do I always say? I haven't had a chance to talk about it with y'all. So I want y'all to talk about it with me. Thank y'all for bearing with your girl. Y'all, I feel like these past 2 or 3 weeks have been such a whirlwind. And I found myself slipping back into the old habit of putting this not on the back burner, but I need to make it just as important as, quite honestly, my other things that I do, my other jobs that I work, because I want this to continue to grow and flourish. And this is really what I want to do full time. And then, with other opportunities connected to it. So I apologize to y'all because it has been on the back burner. Thank you for sticking with your girl. It's on the front burner now, okay? And we are getting this done. Again, looking at me, don't judge me, judge your mama. Last thing, shout out to Paige. Y'all know that for those of y'all that don't know, I do gig work, rideshare service, right? So I deliver people and deliver groceries. I don't mind it. It's good money. I get to pick my own schedule. If I don't want to go in, I don't want to go in. I'm not going in today. Corey was like, yeah, take off. I'm not going in today, right? Going in. And I tell y'all, the driver's perspective and the deliverer's perspective, right? Y'all have y'all customers' perspective. Drivers could do this better. Drivers could do that better. Deliverers can do this better. Deliverers can do that better. And I feel like we should all work together. I hear y'all. Y'all hear me, right? So yesterday I was shopping 4 orders at one time. You gotta be a pro, okay? And I'm gonna say it through Shipt, doing 4 orders at one time, knocking them out, knocking them out. And one other customer in particular, when I tell you, was working my nerves, and every time I deliver for this person, she's non-responsive, and that irks me. If you don't put in a substitution for something, for those of y'all that haven't used delivery service, it's Shipt is like Instacart, so you can put in, I want these eggs. And if they don't have them, you can put in another substitute. You can put in no substitution, or you can put in that you want to be contacted by the customer. That means you need to have your phone on you, right? What should have been a very quick order for this one person, not Paige, shout out to Paige, for this other person turned into longer because the stuff she wanted wasn't in stock. And I'm messaging her instantly, hey, such and such isn't out of stock. And most times I give an option. I don't have to do that, but just to save the back and forth, hey, they don't have this, but they have this. Because I know they could be busy on the other end too, right? She not responding. Now, mind you, I'm shopping 4 orders, and all 4 orders on every corner of this Target that I'm going into, right? So I'm hitting all 4 corners. So because I know the layouts of pretty much all the Targets in my area, and I know, okay, shop the cold food last, shop the other stuff, whatever. She ain't responding. She ain't responding. She responds as I'm done everybody else's order almost. And I don't normally like to do closed orders, but sometimes I will, especially if it's baby, because if you don't know the layout, it could be hard to find. Some of her items were out of stock there. She was like, do they have anything else with characters on? And see, that I don't like because I'm not there to shop. I'm not your personal shopper. So if this isn't in stock, oh, just pick me out something with a character. I don't do that because what if you don't like it? And then having to text back and forth. So whatever, what have you. Y'all, when I tell y'all she was running my nerves, because like this repeat customer, she never responds. Or it'll be, I give a person 5 minutes, sometimes 10. It'll be 20 and 30 minutes later when I'm already on my way to her house. Oh, yeah, get this. But you have a delivery time. The customer may say, I don't care if you deliver it late. Shipped cares and will dock you. And that affects your stats, which what? Could then stop you from getting orders. And what's the whole purpose of getting orders? To make money. I send her a substitution for something. She says, yes, I'll take it, but then rejects it in the app. So now I can't process her order. So I had to think of a way to work around that. And it was just all this stuff, and I was irritated. In the meantime, I'm texting my other customers like, hi, I'm on my way. Still trying to not let my experience with this customer, which is repeat, affect the way I dealt with the other customers. Good thing I didn't. Because I get on this here YouTube and tell y'all I try to be kind, right? I try to lead with kindness. I try to be nice. I try to do all these things. We all have our flaws, right? But for the most part, I feel like I'm not just a nice person. Anybody can be nice, but not anybody can be kind. I stand by that. I feel like I'm a kind person, right? But I'm not always nice. But I didn't want what was going on with this customer to affect like how I'm communicating with the other customer. Good thing I didn't. Y'all, I go to deliver something. And normally, folks don't meet me at the door. And I just drop this stuff, take a picture, I'm out, right? So as I'm walking up, parked illegally on the road in Baltimore, because I was like, I'm not walking far. I'm parking right here with my hazards on. That's the Jersey coming out. And I go walk up, and the door opens, and this beautiful young lady, I'm gonna say a young lady, I'm young too, but this beautiful woman opens the door and she goes, I watch your channel and I wanted to meet you. And I was like, y'all, that stunned me speechless. And clearly I'm not speechless a lot, right? So I was like, I feel like I got to give you a hug. So I gave her a hug and we talked for a minute and then we talked for a minute through the app. Paige, I'm about to call you out. I told Paige, don't mind me because I had literally all ran out. I mean, face wash, teeth brush, and my hair. You know how when you don't put your smoothing stuff on, my hair wasn't really smoothing in the front, but the bob was bobbing in the back, but the front, child, whole different story. But I just had it tucked behind my ears, right? And I just didn't feel like, because I was only working half a day because I had this party to do. So I message Paige and say, don't judge me, Paige. I was looking a mess. I got a lot going on. She gonna say I was looking a mess too, which she wasn't. She was looking a mess too. She was dealing with her baby. Paige, I was expecting you to say, girl, you wasn't looking a mess. But what she said was, girl, don't worry about it. I was looking a mess too. I said, oh, so I was right in my assessment of myself, but I didn't want that from you, Paige. I wanted dishonesty. I wanted you to tell me that I didn't look a mess. I'm joking though, but anyway, that made me feel so good. And she's not that far. So it's crazy to me still when I think about like, wow, doing this, doing something that I love to do, connecting with y'all, talking to y'all. I have made some really good friendships from social media, from this, from that. And that's one of the reasons why I will never give up social media completely. I love the interactions. And then I've also made some real life friends from here. And so people that I may never have come across who may never have come across me. So that was just funny. Shout out to Paige. I love you, girl. We exchanged Instagram and stuff because that chat between, like a shipped customer and a shopper will shut down eventually, and I didn't want to lose. So I was like, hey, but it was really, really nice meeting you. I thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And to all of y'all that are listening and watching, I appreciate y'all so, 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 so much. I really do. I'm going like this so that way I can look back at my video and know when my hands were crossed, that's the timestamp. So I can put a timestamp in there. I hope I remember because you know your girl forgets. All right, y'all, let's get into some of this news. Again, some of the news is old, okay? But I want to talk to y'all about it. Y'all don't judge me again, okay? Not sponsored by Red Bull, but if you want to sponsor, the pink is delicious and give you wings. One of y'all told me y'all drank the pink one and was up for hours and hours and hours. It's just getting me through the morning, y'all, okay? It's getting me through the morning. Erica Jane. Erica Jane seems to always be tied to something or somebody. They say her new man got money, but it's MAGA, and all these other things. We know that Tom Girardi was into what he was into, and they still going after Erica for some of the things, especially that designer that said she did chargebacks on his card and like messed him up. Well, now it seems like somebody else she's connected to is in some stuff. So let's get into it. This, according to Reality T. Erica Jane's attorney accused of stealing millions in COVID relief to fund her lavish lifestyle. Did Erica Jane find another elderly attorney to bankroll her lavish lifestyle? According to a new lawsuit, that might be exactly what happened. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has been leaning on attorney James Jim Wilkes as she navigates the legal fallout of Tom's crimes. But now Jim is facing embezzlement accusations that he used COVID-19 Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, to help keep Erica afloat. Child. For context, Erica and James go way back. He's a former friend of Tom's. And at one point, Beverly Hills fans thought the two could be romantically involved. That's not the case, but Jim has been deeply involved in Erica's legal battles, including the ongoing lawsuits with the Marco designers, Christopher Pasalia and Marco Morante. And let's get into that because I mentioned that earlier. Now, as a reminder, Christopher and Marco head up the design business Marco. Erica falsely accused them of charging $800,000 to her American Express without her permission. The allegation led to Christopher's arrest, y'all. And it blew a huge hole in their business. Both Marco and Christopher are suing Erica for damages in 2 different states. That's crazy. $800,000. And he got arrested. However, according to Radar Online, Christopher has now expanded his lawsuit to include Erica's attorney, Jim. In the suit, he said that Jim is the mastermind of a conspiracy to derail his lawsuit against Erica. He went on to accuse Jim of obtaining PPP loans and funneling them to Erica. According to the lawsuit, Jim obtained 2 PPP loans for $2,393,079 and then another one for $2 million. The United States Small Business Administration forgave both of the loans under the impression that the money went towards the salaries of Jim's employees. In Jim's PPP application, he allegedly overstated the number of employees he had at his law office. The lawsuit claimed he exaggerated the number of full-time employees by 40. That money allegedly went to pay, invest, or loan Erica Jane and her team, and to pay attorneys to defend Erica and team in other lawsuits, child. Jim hasn't responded to the lawsuit, but it's just another wrinkle in a messy situation. Meanwhile, the Marco designers have maintained that Erica's actions derailed their business and livelihood, so they're hopeful justice will be served. I'm going to tell you something. That is so foul. And to me, karma, God, you reap what you sow, whatever it is you believe in. If she knowingly did that chargeback for $800,000 and accused them folks of charging without her permission, leading to that man's arrest, and basically, as they say, blowing a hole in their business, she gonna get what's coming to her, whether it's behind bars for something, like nobody's saying she's done anything illegal, but I would think, y'all, is that illegal? Isn't that's, if I lie about someone charging my card knowing that I authorized it, and then I lie to get the money back, I feel like that should be illegal. And that should be punishable by whether it's a dollar amount makes it fraud, or because basically that's kind of like you trying to steal from the credit card company. I feel like if I charge $800,000 worth of stuff and then say, oh, I didn't give them permission to charge it and then get it back. That's like I stole from the credit card company, right? Wouldn't that be a crime? Either way, she gonna get it back. It's gonna come back to her. If she did that, it's gonna come back and she gonna reap what she sow. And life is gonna continue to be lawsuit after lawsuit. That is really, really, really jacked up. 800, almost $1 million, and I didn't got arrested. That might be cause for somebody to show up to your door. I'm just saying. And then you got your nerve, child. Anyway, what y'all think? I feel like she's always tied to someone with money, um, who is shady is not the right word, who's a scammer, pretty much. Erica Child, you better be lucky to film the season has already filmed and that Garcelle's not on because we know that Garcelle would have brought it right on up, but we know Sutton wouldn't. Anyway, moving on. This is in white women's news. Let's get Icky Vicky, child. We know Icky Vicky was offered her peach. I mean, not her peach, child. What is it? Her orange for season 20 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm just gonna say this. I want to know what y'all think about what I'm about to say. What are y'all's opinions? Because I go back and forth, right? I've heard people say that they believe that people who have different political views should be represented on TV, on these shows. And while I do believe that, because we're quick to say, black people aren't all a monolith, this group of people aren't all a monolith, like we're all different. We all have differences, right? And even people within the same political parties may have differences. I do think there's a difference in people having different political affiliations and then people supporting people that are morally okay with watching children go hungry, with watching black women lose jobs by the thousands, right? With watching them try to not classify certain professions anymore, so that those professions can now not get funding for school, you know what I mean, through the Department of Education. Like, I have a problem giving those type of people a platform who support that. But then I think, well, if they're not talking about it, but then I think that's the problem. Like, I would rather know. For me as a black woman, don't be in my face and you don't like black folks. Like, I'd rather know where I stand with you because I can deal with non-black folks who don't see it from me because I'll do my job and move on. As long as you ain't trying to mess with me in that way, do my job and move on. I don't need you all in my face skinning and grinning and then you can't stand the color of my skin, even though deep down we know y'all just cannot leave us alone. But that's a whole nother story. But so I go back and forth because I feel like they shouldn't be given a platform. They should be given a platform. Like differences, yes. But I feel like when your differences support hate. So I say that to say, y'all remember a couple of weeks ago, I did a video where Vicky has come out and said she thinks Heather is too liberal for the OC. And I wanted to know, I wish the person that she was talking to would have, but they didn't, would have asked her, can you explain exactly what you mean? What is too liberal? Supporting LGBTQ plus rights? What is too liberal? I want to know. And what's too liberal for the OC? So are you saying the OC don't support trans rights, don't support gay rights? We know y'all don't support Black Lives Matter, so we ain't got to ask that. But what is too liberal? And now people are celebrating this woman getting her peach back. Some people that belong to those communities. Now, some may say, well, Taria, it's for entertainment. And I think, and I'm going to speak for me, but I'm going to ask y'all, and I'm going to ask black folks watching. I feel like sometimes it's easy for us to separate it because the way we separate it, we don't separate it like it's entertainment. And then I don't care about their real life because we don't know what's going on in their real life. Us watching these shows, we can pick up on the people that don't support folks that look like us, but we can separate it because we have to do that in our everyday lives. We have to do that in a corporate office. We have to do that in a different work setting. We may have to do that in a school setting, right? We're used to having to compartmentalize working around non-black folks because we know In some spaces we've been, at least for me, I know they don't really see it for us like that, but I'm here. And as long as they're respectful and respect my work and don't try to cause me to lose money, sometimes what choice do we have, right? But the way we compartmentalize is different. We don't look at it like we don't care what's going on in their private life as long as they're entertaining us. But I feel like other non-Black people and other people that aren't a part of the LGBTQ plus community say we don't care that they don't support these rights. We don't care about any of that. We just want entertainment. Am I explaining that right? Like we care, but we know the reality of these people. And so we're not dumb enough not dumb enough. I won't say, I'll take that back. We're not naive to the fact of who these people are outside of entertainment. So I'm going to watch it for what it is, and I'm going to go on about my business. But I feel like other people who aren't a part of these communities are comfortable with being like, I don't care. I don't see it. It doesn't exist. What do you mean Black people are still treated differently? I didn't know that because I had a conversation with a white woman in my car a couple of weeks ago. And she didn't know it until she was out with her Black friend and experienced it for herself. Because she saw Black people on TV, because she saw Black people working beside her, because she saw Black people doing things, that everything was hunky-dory, in the words of Kathy Helen, right? But she didn't know until she had an experience with her Black friend in a restaurant. They went into a restaurant. He went in first and asked for a seat. They told him it was going to be like a 20 to 30 minute wait. He went back outside and was like, it's because I'm Black. She was like, no, it's not. He was like, you go try. She went in to get a seat to see when the table was available. And they said, we have one available for you. Then she brought him in and told off the person and was like, and by the way, we're not eating here, and called the manager and all that. Sometimes I wouldn't expect her to know. And I go back to, I wouldn't expect you to know, but don't discredit what I'm telling you from what I've experienced. I've heard white people tell me, no, that's not the case. No, don't do that. Tell me you've never experienced it, but don't discredit what I've experienced. So with somebody like Vicky, it's not about, I'm going to watch it, but I know who she is in real life, and you're not fooling me. So it's like I watch it and then just move on. But then I just have these back and forth feelings. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think people like that should go on ahead and be given a platform? Because at the end of the day, it is free speech, but you're not absent of consequences. I don't know. But then again, she probably wouldn't bring it up on the show. I want to know how Heather feels, how Heather is going to feel. I mean, she glossed over the Gretchen thing at BravoCon and tried to flip it. Gretchen has been good to me and my family. So because Gretchen's been good to you and your family, you're okay. She has to know the truth that Gretchen has been liking anti-LGBTQ plus posts. But because she's been good to your family, it's okay. To me, it reminds me of, you're not like those Black people. You're not like those trans people. You're not like those LGBTQ plus people. And now here she is back. Vicky get ready to be back on season 20. I don't know. That's immediately what I thought of. I just thought that was like, how's that going to work? Is Heather not going to talk about what she's talked about for the last couple seasons? And how will that go on TV? But y'all let me know what y'all think. Moving on. I spent too much time on her, child. All right. Let's get into Wendy and Eddie. Ciao. Okay. Again, a lot of this news has been going on for the last week, but what friends we haven't talked about it. So let's get into it. We know that Eddie and Wendy were indicted. They went to BravoCon. Wendy was like, she can't say much now, but one day she'll be able to share her story. When you have to listen to what people say. And then listening to what they say, you see what they don't say. Remember, Karen was like, I'll be vindicated. Knowing that woman was guilty. Knowing she was guilty. Wendy said, one day I'll be able to tell my story. They're not proclaiming innocence. What they're proclaiming is that the investigation has been not handled the way it should. But let's get into it. So we know they were indicted by Carroll County grand jury last month on charges of fraud. So her defense attorney, let's get into this. The prosecutors are seeking additional financial records of Wendy and Eddie, and they want to show a pattern of excessive spending and support a motive in their criminal fraud case. And these are according to new court filings. So defense attorneys for the Osefos has said Carroll County prosecutors were on a fishing expedition in seeking new banking records for the couples who were indicted last month for allegedly staging a burglary at their Finksburg home in order to claim losses. But they want those subpoenas squashed. Prosecutors responded saying the Osefos have had approximately 40 credit and or debit cards, some of which are believed to be in company names, and have in other instances, and this is important, they have 40 different credit and debit cards, which some are believed to be in company names, and have in other instances used aliases Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy. Wild. I said, was they drunk and high when they came up with them names? In a deliberate attempt to mask their identity. That's important. Prosecutors also say Wendy Osefo falsely denied using PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App to pay for jewelry. The state anticipates seeing purchases as well as returns on the financial records. Additionally, the state expects such documentation to show a pattern of excessive spending, supporting motive in the case. The state avers that insurance fraud is a financial crime and that in that amount of debt owed by the Osefos jointly. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. The state says that the insurance fraud is a financial crime. And in that, the amount of debt owed by the Osefos jointly, individually, and the businesses they own is highly relevant to their motive. So they saying Wendy got debt, Eddie got debt, they got joint debt, and they got business debt. And I was thinking, well, I thought Eddie's business was doing very well. That's what they've led us to believe, right? But what other businesses do they have? Is it Wendy's candle line? What other businesses? I'm wondering, because we haven't seen that, right? Eddie Osefo's attorney, Joseph Murtha, said Wednesday evening that the requests were overly broad and strangely timed, and that prosecutors were looking for something they haven't figured out after 18 months of investigating. I said, well, he said authorities hadn't talked to the Osefos from the time of the break-in until they were criminally charged. Here's my thing. Well, let's get into that. Wendy's attorneys. Oh, so they have attorneys from the same law firm because Eddie's attorney is Joseph Murtha. I think I see signs for them in Baltimore. And then Wendy's attorney is Murtha, Jeremy Eldridge, and Clarissa Lindsay, said in a statement Thursday afternoon that the police failed to properly investigate the initial burglary, despite clear indications of a break-in, displaying clear bias against the Osefo families. They said the public release of the family's private financial details serves no lawful purpose and called the allegation that the Osefos have used aliases on financial applications false and misleading. Here's where I said, going back up in the article when they said they've used 40 debit/credit cards, and then they said in other instances use aliases, their lawyers are saying it's misleading the way that the prosecution is presenting the way in which Eddie and Wendy used the aliases. They are saying some names were used for the delivery of packages following their lawful purchases to safeguard the identity of very public figures. I can now, whether this is true or not, I can see that. You may not want people to know because listen, come on, housewives, everything worldwide, right? And especially, and clearly worldwide, but in the United States, people are watching these housewives. You'll recognize, you can have somebody delivering a package and say, oh, Wendy, Eddie. And there's mail theft, package theft by the employees working at these places, right? So I can see them using aliases just like they would if you checked into a hotel. To me, I would just want to know, the prosecution needs to be clear. Did they use these aliases on paperwork to obtain loans, or did they lawfully pay for it, like he said, and then the delivery? Because you can fill in the name of the person that's going to be delivered. You can go on Amazon at any site. You pay for it, but then when you fill out the shipping information, who it's to, that could be a totally different name. So if this is true, I can get why they would have it under an alias, right? So I am wondering, is the prosecution has been putting this information out there, and it does feel like, outside of guilty or not guilty, it does feel like they're trying to try this in the court of public opinion, because Now, I don't know if it's because they're celebrities or if it's because the area, because I told y'all, Carroll County don't look like, the people in Carroll County don't look like Wendy and Eddie, right? So I feel like the prosecution is trying to try this in the court of public opinion. I say. Circuit Court Judge Brian DiLeonardo said he would take up the dispute over the subpoenas at a status hearing on December 2nd. I'll be in attendance. I hope it's not boring, y'all. So remember, we talked about when the sheriff's department did their initial press conference and they led with, this is not a victimless crime. You, the people, will be affected by this because it'll cause insurance people, the rates to go up. That was an interesting point. Remember, we did a video about Ebony K. Williams saying she felt like it was because they're black. And I said, I could see where she was going with that. I think it doesn't help that they're black in that area. If you did a crime, you did this crime, right? Black, white, yellow, brown, whatever. However, them being black in Carroll County is not going to help their case. Whereas if it was a non-black person, maybe things would be handled differently. And then here's my next question. The Carroll County had that press conference and led with, this is not a victimless crime. So basically they want to warn people, hey, this is not a victimless crime. This could affect you in the future. If somebody on Eddie and Wendy same street had did that and it not be Wendy and Eddie, would they have had a press conference? Because remember, they said they haven't had break-ins or any of that in years. So would they still have had that level of concern if it wasn't Eddie and Wendy and their neighbor that did it? Would they have come and had a press conference and laid out all this information and then laid out those folks' financial records for the public? Maybe, maybe not, but it does cause me to wonder. So Wendy posted the joint statement from their legal team, and then she commented on it and said, what is most disturbing is that the state appears to have begun investigating only after charging the Osefos, which is a highly irregular approach that raises serious concerns about motives and fairness. The Osefos have never used aliases on any financial application. This allegation is false and misleading. Jesse Wu commented and said, they're moving so weird regarding this investigation. Why is everything being publicized? It's like they'd rather hold court for the public eye instead of an actual courtroom. So, and then I think Wendy responded to that, and she said bullseye. So, and then another lawyer, an Esquire, posted 100. So I do wonder, right? Like I said, is the prosecution's office putting out information in such a way that it could be taken differently? Like when you hear they had 40 credit and debit cards in their names and business names, and then you hear they used aliases, people are going to run that together in their mind. They're not reading, hold up, they said they have 40 debit and credit cards and business names or whatever, and then used aliases in other instances. Because to me, when I first read that, when I read it really quickly, it read like, oh, shoot, they got credit cards, and some of those 40 credit cards are in the names of aliases. And then I went back and made sure I read it again, and it was like, well, this doesn't seem like that. And then when I kept reading, when her lawyers were saying, hey, they use the aliases to get basically their packages. Now, I do want to know this. Their lawyers say they haven't talked to them in 18 months since they've been investigating. Would the people investigating be talking to you? If they're building a case against you, they're not talking to you because they don't want you to know that they're building a case against you, right? I don't know. Y'all let me know, but I would think that is normal. Now, I do think is it backwards to charge them, arrest them, and then investigate? Because it's like, I feel like we're getting two things. The lawyer is saying you have not talked to them since you've been investigating for the last 18 months. But then they say you only started investigating after you charged them. So were they actually charged 18 months ago and then just got arrested for it? Because that's saying two different things. Hey, you ain't talked to us this whole 18 months you've been investigating. Hey, you ain't started investigating until you arrested us. Child, I'm going to be honest, y'all, though. I do wonder if they're going to get, Like if there's going to be a legal loophole and they're going to end up getting away with allegedly staging all of this. Child, we shall see. I'll be there December 2nd. Speaking of, ooh, child, 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 child. Speaking of arrests, the people is out here. They just out here, like just living crazy. I'm taking so long because my computer is taking long to load and it's about to piss. Here we go. It's about to piss me off. All right, so let's get into some other stuff. Why is my stuff not in order, y'all? I'm sorry. My stuff, I put it in a specific order just so I didn't have to do that. Let's get into this real quick. Y'all, my computer is moving as slow as I'm feeling. Let's watch this.
Just got out of jail. Now Wendy's going there. What the hell? We taking turns every like I don't want no parts, okay? This is why my ass is minding my business in Atlanta, okay? I ain't had enough. You know what? I will take my butt back to the strip club and make my dollar for heaven's sake.
You might have to.
Don't be like, people, it's too much. Now, where are the kids?
So that's
everybody's so worried about my children, which my children are perfectly great. Where now? What? Now her kids are sitting here at school, right? Getting the breaking news that mommy and daddy have mugshots because they committed fraud. Like that's ridiculous.
I hear that. I hear that.
Because she needed a storyline, like. No, like 1+1 is not equaling 2, and I have 0 degrees, and I know that is correct. You know, like Karen just got out of jail. Now Wendy's going.
So she was saying Karen just got out of jail. Now Wendy's going to jail. Where are her kids? Everybody's worried about my kids. Where are her kids? In that same one, she said Wendy was the only one that reached out to her, that checked on her in Atlanta and all of that. And that she thought Miss 4 Degrees had it together, but apparently she doesn't. Now we got to ask you, Mia, where are your kids? Are they okay? Were they in school when they got the breaking news of your arrest? Child, let's get into this body cam footage. Now, see, they about to piss me off. I had it all queued up. I'm telling you. Hold on. We about to watch it, y'all. Real Housewives of Potomac alum Mia Thornton was arrested in Georgia for allegedly stealing thousands of dollars worth of furniture from a condo she was renting. She was booked into Fulton County Jail Wednesday on felony theft charges. Page 6 can confirm. Let's watch. This is from page 6. Fair use, fair use, fair use. What's going on? Y'all, I'm about to. Y'all, my computer is about to really piss me off, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Let me stop the share real quick, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm about to, child. Nope, I'm not letting it. You're not stealing my joy today. I just don't know what's going on with my computer, why it's acting like this. While we do that, I am going to do this so it doesn't get flagged when it finally decides to stop buffering. Whatever I'm showing y'all, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips to balance in favor of use. There's that. All right, let's look, y'all. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I don't know why it's, I really want to scream right now. I don't know why it's doing this. I think it's working. All right, so we'll wait until But anyway, so let's get into it. She was at the Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport, reportedly cuffed by the police at the airport cuffed the Bravo celebrity after they were called to the Customs and Borders Protection Office, where they were informed of a wanted person, reports CBS News. Y'all look at me as mugshot. I mean, she does look pretty, and I'll say that these ladies be taking some pretty mugshots. Now, Wendy look crazy, but we'll see. Y'all, all right, we're supposed to be able to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know what is going on. Skip the ad. Okay, here we go.
Pardon me? I didn't go. I just had somebody else go out there and give them a paperwork.
Y'all, this angle is frying me.
He has the storage key.
Let's go behind him. I mean,
Where is he still in the airport?
nah, he probably left.
So that's what got me. Who is the he? Is it Bobby Valentino? She said, is it possible to call him? He has the key to the storage.
Where's Miss Call?
Yeah, I just want him to go put that furniture back.
I just want them to put that furniture back. It reminds me of the body cam videos that you watch of somebody getting arrested for stealing at a Target or the mall. And they say, I could just pay for the items or give them back. That's not how that works.
Enough is enough. Like, I have several emails. Whatever they telling him to crash.
You heard her. I have several emails. Enough is enough. I have several emails from my roommate telling them that. Yo, this angle is sending me. It looks like she's floating.
All right.
Y'all, it's like they walking the green mile for Jesus. Walking the green mile for Jesus. Hey, girl, I wonder if she was like, this is
So we go
everything.
straight down to that wall. My precinct's right there.
Y'all, this is sending this body foot. I don't know why. Not laughing at me, a situation, absolutely not. But the way this footage, y'all, she looks like she's floating through the airport, literally. And the fact that she said the stuff is in storage and he has the key and she has emails between her and her roommate, this is ridiculous. Who is the roommate? Mia went down to Atlanta scamming. I wasn't surprised when I saw that Mia was arrested because she's always given like being on the cusp of being a scammer, you know, or like scamming. Child, the airport wasn't packed that day, at least. Now she talked about Wendy's kids having to receive that news. Is her kids watching this angle of her? Like she's floating through the airport but in cuffs? Y'all, this is a long walk. You couldn't walk faster. Let's see what else. Yo, I didn't know they had I didn't know. Like, they have cells at airports. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I did not know. What's the password? What's the code? I was just playing. If y'all see this, I was just playing.
Just follow me.
Like, they actually have cells and stuff. Look at this hallway, y'all. This is the airport jail. Jesus be a bonds bailman.
I got the keys.
I mean, a bail bondsman.
Keys to the cell.
They do got a cell.
Thank you.
Oh. Cell 1. Officer, put me in the storage room with the brooms. I don't want to go in no cell.
Sit back down, relax for a second.
He told her he gonna take the cuffs off so she could sit down and relax. Mia's cute though. Gliding through the airport. Reminds me of them Spike Lee movies back in the day. Like Jungle Fever, like they looked like they was floating when they was walking.
So just give me about 30 minutes. Get the paperwork ready. We're ready to go, okay? I'll let you make that call in a second, so, okay?
That's the quietest I've ever seen Mia.
He was all over the place. You gotta go back. You didn't even pat her down. You didn't.
If you want to.
Child, did she say, do you want me to pat her down? And she said, if you want to. He said, if you want to. Keep your hands off of people. No, we don't want that. No. Y'all, that is. They trying to get me caught up. Y'all, that was wild. Like, that was really, really crazy. I just, let's get into some more news. Hold on, because it's not just that. Hold on, I thought I had it. Here we go. So we see that she gets divorced, right? I mean, not divorced. I'm sorry. We see that she got arrested. They say she moved out in the middle of the night. They say she moved all this furniture out in the middle of the night. It says, according to a police report, Thornton is accused of stealing the furniture from a condo she was renting in the area. The condo's manager claimed in the report that Thornton abruptly moved out of the unit in the middle of the night without notice on October 28th. The building manager alleged that Thornton took several furniture items and the television, estimating the total cost of the stolen items to be around $11,000. Police body cam footage showed Thornton tell police that she was aware she had a warrant out for her arrest. Page Six reached out to contact Mia, but did not immediately receive a response. So she moved out in the middle of the night, took the furniture, it's in storage. New news has come out. This is according to Page Six. RHOP star Mia Thornton sued for not paying rent weeks before the theft arrest. Mia Thornton was sued for eviction weeks before she was arrested for allegedly stealing thousands of dollars worth of furniture from a luxury condo she was renting. Company Encore Management filed a lawsuit against Thornton and her ex-boyfriend and roommate, Jared McGriff. Who is that? Okay, so the management company filed a lawsuit against Mia and her. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He was her ex-boyfriend and roommate, Jared McGriff. In court docs viewed by Page Six, the company claims Thornton and McGriff rented a property and failed to pay rent on the unit located in Atlanta. Encore Management demanded the duo be evicted and pay the past due rent of $5,100 for September, plus $6,085 per month up until the date of the judgment. The reality star and her boyfriend have not responded to the lawsuit. Us Weekly was the first to report on the eviction. So first they say ex-boyfriend, then they say boyfriend. So that ain't Bobby. So was Bobby Valentino just for her to try to get on the show? Because we ain't never heard of Jared McGriff. Or that's not Bobby Valentino's real name, is it? I want to see what he looked like, y'all. I'm just looking him up, pulling him up, and see if we can see what he looked like. Let me see. I don't see nothing. It just, when I type in his name, it's linked to Mia's for this arrest. So they both have a warrant. So it's crazy that the eviction filed, the money they want, when you're talking about the eviction being filed, was $5,100 for September's rent, and then another $6,000, right, for all the other fees. That equals $11,000. Only for them to turn around and also be charged with. The police say they reviewed invoices for the furniture and TV, which cost over $11,000. So could be, even if they return the furniture, couldn't they still be like hit with a fine? Like you're looking at potentially $22,000. Mia is out there trying to scam in Atlanta. The rep said Thornton and McGriff also took all the furniture, which was in the unit prior to their move, as well as the TV on the wall. Oh, here's the thing. Per the police report, a rep for Encore filed a report claiming Thornton and a man named Jared McGriff rented out a unit. The landlord's rep said the duo, without notifying anyone, moved out of the unit in the middle of the night. That's because they were going to get evicted. Clearly they knew that. Wow. And she says, in that footage, when we heard her talk about the key, the exact words were, "I just want him to put that furniture back. Enough is enough." She also said she sent messages to her roommate to put it back. It's ridiculous. So I'm wondering, wait, no, this was as of November 20th, she was still in jail and had yet to post bond. Do we know if she's out now? I do wonder if she's still in there. I had paused it to look real quick, but I can't find it. But it's as of November 20th, she was still in there. Y'all, her birthday's the 25th. She might be in there for her birthday. That is crazy. Like the fact that I'm gonna look at something else. The fact that she's still that she could still be in there, because I'm wondering, Would it be an update for her posting um bond? Man, that is insane. Child did not know that Mia's birthday was in November. Her birthday is what? One day before Corey's. Her birthday is Tuesday. Child, I hope she's out in time for her birthday. Mm. Mia, Mia, Mia Moore. Moving on. Let's get into some more Atlanta news, y'all. When I tell y'all my computer is moving like I think I might have to turn I very rarely turn it off. So I probably have to turn it off and then let it reset. But anyway, according to People, we learned a couple days ago, RHOA alum Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker split after 11 years of marriage. We know there have been whispers and rumors about Todd and Kandi. They were talking about they're not wearing their wedding rings, and then but they've been saying stuff about Todd and Kandi for years, right? So you just kind of feel like every once in a while, well, every few months or so, there's a circulation about a couple getting a divorce. Either they come out and deny it, they don't say anything, or they come out and confirm it. In this case, Kandi and Todd. Well, Kandi confirmed it. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with the divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. Burruss tells People in an exclusive statement, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported. Try not my computer rebooting. There we go. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. So Kandi's 49, Todd is 52, and of course we know they met while filming the fourth season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Man, in October 2022, I mean that was 3 years ago, Burruss told People the secret to their happy marriage was just great communication and having fun together. We have a real understanding of each other. On November 14th, Burruss was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Bravos during BravoCon 2025 in Vegas and thanked Tucker in her acceptance speech. To Todd, thank you for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, the lies, the truth, the almost fights, the actual fights, the reunions. You earned this award too. The singer-songwriter who made her Bravo debut in Chicago in 2018 is going to make her Broadway return on December 11th, starring in And Juliet. This is crazy because is it And Juliet and it'll run through March 8th. You know how they say Romeo and Juliet? Is this just to focus on Juliet being without Romeo? That's if so, that's like a are imitating life. You know what I mean? Like she's splitting from Todd, and this play is all about Juliet, not Romeo and like Romeo and Juliet. I don't know about it. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, so Burruss previously shared with People that the former couple's career ambitions were quite aligned. We have intertwined our wants and desires, she told People. We have all these dreams, and sometimes I'll be all out of the box, but he'll still be like, okay, babe, let's do it. So, listen, wishing health, wealth, success, prosperity on both of them. And there's that. But Kandi and Todd are splitting. I wonder if she will be back on season 18 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Make season 18 Kandi. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Walk with me, y'all. Can't. The only thing is, oof, I don't want to disrespect anybody's mom. Mm. If Kandi comes back and talks about the divorce, we're going to have to hear Mama Joyce. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. I had hoped their marriage worked out because clearly they wanted to be married, right? So, of course, you want their marriage to work out if they want it to work out. But also, because I didn't want to hear Mama Joyce's mouth. I told you that little short man, because, she would call him short. Yeah, Kandi would have to come with Mama Joyce. That's the only thing. But either way, bring Kandi, season 18. Of course, y'all know I'm going to say Nene, Kenya, Porsha, Angela. Am I forgetting somebody, y'all? Who else? I like Drew. I don't like how to be ganging up on Drew. Maybe Drew. I don't know. I got to see how Drew does this season. And I guess we'll have to see how Pinky Cole, one of the newbies, does. But my starting what's that? My starting five, my starting four: Kandi, Nene, Kenya, Porsha. My starting four. Bring them back. 2018. We'll have Nene without Greg. Not like that, but I'm just saying, we'll get to see more of Nene living, having to live, as a widow, not widower. I'm sorry, as a widow. We'll see Kenya. We'll see Kandi, Porsha. Unless they all get into relationships before then, they all will be like not in relationships. Serious ones. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Last thing, I meant to talk about her earlier, but it's a shame. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's get into Porsha. We all know about Porsha. I know that y'all have seen it, but I want to watch it with y'all anyway. I'm not going to lie. When I first heard about Porsha and a plane incident and the FBI being involved, I was like, Somebody said something to Porsha and she snapped off. What happened? And then I saw the footages and it really pissed me off. Let's go. So this is from the Bravo Shade Room. Porsha explained that the incident on her Delta flight was about her phone volume. She said the passenger dropped the phone on the floor and then accused Porsha of hitting them in the face, allegedly telling her, "I'm pressing charges. I want you to be in jail."
Sitting next to me, I was on my phone, and the volume was up on the phone. And she turned to me out of nowhere, and she said, "So you're gonna make me listen to that the whole flight?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." And I
She will
said,
make you listen to what?
"Am I gonna make her listen to my phone?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I said,
This is before we took off.
yes, even before we took off.
So you guys were in Las Vegas when that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
The plane was on the ground?
Yes.
The door was shut? Because, okay.
No, the door wasn't shut yet. People were still boarding.
People were still boarding?
But you were texting me. When
Oh,
people
okay, I
were
couldn't
still
tell.
Okay.
Okay. So she was like, are you gonna make me listen to that the whole time? I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." I said, "Well, it was a nicer way to say that." And she said, "Bitch, you don't tell me bitch." And I was like,
Child.
you okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just telling him what happened.
You were using your phone, it was loud.
Yes.
And she complained about the loud.
She asked me, "Thank you so much." She, so the music, the Instagram was on. The lady, who was sitting next to me, I was on, the Instagram was on, and she told me, "Am I gonna have to listen to that?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, it was a nicer way."
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause this. That lady that came up to her genuinely concerned, "Are you okay?" and put her hand on her, already let me know Porsha wasn't in the wrong about this. And a comment saying that lady asking Porsha if she's all right lets us know exactly who was the aggressor, and obviously it wasn't Porsha.
Way you could have said that, And then she says, "What, bitch?" She's like, "Bitch, you don't talk to me." And I was like, "Are you okay?" From that point on, she said, "Who the do you think you are?" And so I said, "Oh, no. I said, y'all need to get her out of here. Please get her away from me." And so then when she, she tried to take her phone and record, and she drops her phone on the floor. She's like, "You hit me. Oh my God. You hit me. You just hit me in my face. Oh my God. I'm pressing charges. I want you to be in jail." And I'm like, what's happening? So the steward.
Also, her phone dropped on the floor. You didn't slap the phone from her hand?
No.
Okay.
So then the steward comes over, and then the steward says to her, says to me, because I say, "Get your ugly ass out of here," because then I'm upset. Then the stewardess says to me, you're an adult. You can't.
I don't know why that sent me. Get your ugly ass out of here.
You're an adult. You can't be cursing like that. No, and I said, why are you chastising me? Like, this woman is the one going crazy. So then the Instagram was on, and she told me, "Am I gonna have to listen to that?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, it was a nicer way you could have said that, And then she says, "What, bitch?" She's like, "Bitch, you don't talk to me." And I was like, "Are you okay?" From then they end up making her move to the next chair with the guy, but she was irate, so they were trying to hold her because she didn't want to move. It's like she wanted to move but didn't want to move. So as you can see, they had to pull her.
She was at the window, or she was at the end?
So she was in the row.
She was in the aisle. And where were you? You were in the middle?
I'm at the door in first class. It's only 2 seats.
Only 2 seats. Oh, you are at the window, and she's at the aisle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're telling me there was nothing physical?
No.
It was just verbal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they end up making her
All right,
move
so
to
let's
the next
go
chair.
to this later, child. Let's go see what she says. Here we
Before
go.
I say anything, I want to know, is my information going to be given to the woman who assaulted me?
No, ma'am.
Because I'm afraid for my life.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It's not.
I was sitting in my seat. She was the last passenger to come on board. So when she came on board, She said, I'm in that seat. I said, no problem. I jumped up, got far away from her so she had plenty of room. She had to put stuff in the upstairs thing. I understand that. Took plenty of time. Sit back down. We never spoke other than that. And after about 25 minutes of her on Instagram, full blast, every time she would flip, because apparently it was from a loud place, I jumped because it was so loud. So I waited 25 minutes, give her time, let her do whatever she needed to do. And then I said, am I going to have to listen to that the whole time? And she said, do you like it? And I said, no. And she said, well, I don't like the way you asked me. Before I say anything, I want to know, is my like the way you asked me? I said, don't put this on me. And the next thing I know, there was a fingernail so close to my eye that I thought I was going to be physically attacked. She had her, I don't want to do it to you, sir. She had her hands in my face, screaming, calling me crazy. On and on and on. So now, the flight attendants can't come help me because they're wrapped in for this takeoff. My phone is sitting against my leg on my lap, so I take it to video to try and protect myself. And as soon as I go like this, she takes her hand and goes like that and throws my phone, and everybody sees the phone go down the end of the whole airplane. And the flight attendant told me he saw her knock it out of my hand. And that's assault. And so I'm 70 years old.
So she actually knocked the phone off your hand?
You're damn right she did.
Okay.
I didn't drop it.
All right.
I said, well, I don't like the...
What's crazy to me is if this lady lying like that in a straight face, you know what? I'm never surprised. I have told y'all before, and I love all peoples. I'm never surprised at what non-Black folks will say about Black folks, lie on us, all that. And try to paint us as aggressors. I'm sorry. Again, I know that we know that Porsha has been in altercations or what have you. Judging from other passenger reaction, I don't think she was. And I think there was another clip even circulating, somebody else asking Porsha, was she okay? And you could hear in Porsha's frames, somebody else asking her, was she okay?
Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid she's going to have me killed.
Are you serious?
Can you do me a favor? Can you write me a statement of what happened?
I certainly can. I have it written down in my phone.
Now, my thing is to say, I'm afraid she's going to have me killed. By who? Someone on the flight? Because once we land, what you think I'm going to have somebody follow you to your destination? Like, lady.
Can you just jot it down on this bit of paper? You want to sit somewhere private over here? All right.
Now, I'm going to say this. Had it been a different time, a different place, different officers, who knows what could have happened? And that lady, they could have immediately taken that lady's words over Porsha's words and even other passengers coming up to them. I hope they took statements from other passengers. And quite honestly, I feel like you should be charged. If you lie on somebody, I feel like you should be charged. If you say, y'all, I've had my car running for this last hour doing this video. Oh my gosh, hold on. Y'all, I had to run downstairs. I happened to look outside. And I don't know what made me look outside. Y'all, I started my car an hour ago because I was going to the gym. Now, I told you my son's been using my car because his dad, thank you, Lord, he's having something going on with the security. His battery needed to be changed in his car. He has a Chevy Malibu. And then when my husband changed my son's battery, now the anti-security device lock won't allow the car to start. So my husband's going to figure that out next week. So my son is still using my car. My car, I can start it from the inside to outside, remote start, and it'll shut off. Y'all, I forgot my car has been, y'all see, I flew down them steps. My car's been running for an hour. Well, the Lyft car, because I was just going to take the Lyft car to the gym since my son has my car and my husband went to go pick up my daughter from somewhere because she's home on break. My car's been running. But anyway, I think that you should be charged if you lie. So if they find that this woman, that Porsha did not slap the phone out of her hand and she did not have her finger pointed in her face and her fingernail, and now you're saying that to an officer of the law, I feel like you should be able to be charged. What do y'all think? Because you shouldn't be able to just go around here Well, let me take that back. I was going to say you shouldn't be able to just go around here and say whatever you want to say. Nah, go around here and say whatever you want to say. There's going to be consequences to you saying whatever you want to say. And I think if that happened, more people would think twice about lying on people, especially to law enforcement. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Very last story, Megan King Edmonds. We know I did a story here maybe a month or so ago. Megan King Edmonds, she used to be on the Real Housewives of OC. She used to be married to former professional baseball player Jim Edmonds. They got a divorce, and Megan had custody of her kids. Megan has since went on, I think, to marry either once more or twice more. And most recently, she was married to Joe Biden's nephew. They're no longer married. Well, there was an incident that happened at Jim's house. They were saying Megan showed up, wouldn't leave, tried to get into the house. They called the police, all that stuff. Megan came out and said that wasn't the case, yada, yada, yada. Well, now, according to People, Megan King loses custody of 3 kids with ex-Jim Edmonds after Child Protective Services is called. The former couple shared daughters Aspen, 8, and twins Hart and Hayes, 7. Megan King has lost custody of her 3 kids with ex-husband Jim Edmonds. The Real Housewives of Orange County alum recently lost custody of her kids to her former husband after an investigation by CPS. The decision to strip King of custody happened in the last few months. A school employee called Child Protective Services about King, which then led to an investigation, sources told TMZ on Wednesday, November 19th. She was granted supervised visitation of the kids while Edmonds received sole custody, according to Us Weekly, which was first to report. The decision is temporary, and a hearing will be held to determine if the custody arrangement will become permanent. The hearing is scheduled to take place in early December. People has not independently confirmed the reports. A rep for Edmonds declined to comment when people reached out, and then Megan King did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Man, I hope everything works out in favor of the kids. That's what I'm gonna say. Because just because CPS did an investigation, we know sometimes it's not always right. I hope that the kids concerned are really at the forefront of this and not ego and not selfishness. So my prayer is that everything works out for the kids the way that it's supposed to, and they end up living in a happy and healthy, physically and mentally healthy environment. So there is that. Y'all, I love y'all so much. I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for kicking it with me, for supporting me, for loving me. And I will upload that other podcast after this. Talk to you later. See ya.